Welcome back to Religion in the News. My guests today are four Christian rappers, Nature, Philo, DJ Disciple, and Wild Child. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us so much.
Yeah, this is exciting for me, having a musical background and being in production a little bit. It's always exciting to see, young people out doing their thing. And it's just exciting to know that this industry is still chugging along. And we're talking about the Christian, the gospel rap industry.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about something that you guys have coming up here. Actually, you just had a newly released CD as of yesterday, from my understanding.
Yes.
All right, tell us about your project and what's the motivation behind this one, what it's about. Let's hear the skinny.
Well, I'm Nature, and this is Philo in white, and we had a double release, and it was called Prayer Changes Things. And we wanted to really bridge the gap between the community and the artists, to where, the community leaders sometimes seem distant from issues of just the people that we're trying to reach. And we want to show the humanistic side of they can still be an elected official and love the Lord. And just because they're elected doesn't mean they don't care. Because sometimes people think promotion is not always good, or the perception is if he's a chief of police, he couldn't have God, and that's not the case.
That's not the case.
So we wanted to bring city leaders to the event, and to show the positive side of it, we called it Prayer Changes Things.
Interesting. Now, what an interesting title, Prayer Changes Things.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming that some of the songs on this particular project are geared towards putting it back in God's hands. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
Yes,
it sounds
exactly.
like you're trying to bridge that gap. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yes, when we discovered what we wanted to do in a timeline, we wanted to stick closely to the theme. We asked every artist that backed us, which Wild Child, we don't have the Bomb Squad here, and we also have an artist called The Voice, and they were really close to the theme of Prayer Changes Things. We wanted to show the unison between artists, because sometimes we get the appearance that we're, as a Christian artist, we already
Just
come tagged. Yeah, and we don't know what's
Absolutely.
going on. We're behind the loop. Our music sound like we're in the 80s, and we really wanted to show the unison of us coming together. We all wore the same color theme, so everyone in the event
interesting.
is in unison. We come together, we leave together. So we just wanted to show a little bit more structure.
Sure.
Yeah,
and I understand too that there's a local aspect to this, because you're local, but at the same time you have a national platform. I know a couple of you are national artists. What is the perception out there? And Wild Child, I'll ask you, what's the perception out there with this Christian gospel rap? It's never really been embraced.
There's a stigma that says because you do Christian rap, we cannot allow it to be in the church, because you're just taking a form that's happening in the world and just putting God to it.
Okay.
But the thing is God created music. He created all music.
Exactly.
It's what you do with the music that God created that defiles it.
I see.
See, you can, just because it's Christian doesn't mean it's bad. So when people say that, you can't do Christian music, Christian rap in the church, it's kind of a double standard. Like, how can we not do Christian music in the church?
Interesting.
What we're doing is reaching to the people that sometimes cannot be reached through traditional gospel music.
Sure. Have you seen any type of progress in your own opinion?
Well,
go ahead. Actually, from where I'm from Flint, Michigan, and to me, it's better off to reach the youth where you can reach them at. Most of the youth are worried about all the other artists like Pliers and all that. And to me, I feel like if you can teach the youth about violence, why can't you do it in the same way with God? And with Christian rap, I feel like you can touch the youth much stronger, because it's always something they already listening to.
That's interesting.
Instead of using like the old gospel songs, like Lead Them to the Water, or like that. With Christian rap, you go, okay, so Christians can rap too and have fun with it, and just not be stuck on the old ways.
Sure, and it's relevant to the youth. I mean, that's old school to them. Wade on the water and all,
Yeah, they
all
don't
of that.
understand it. Their dialect
Sure,
doesn't
there is a dialect, there's a language gap there. Last night, if we get back to the event, you had mentioned local officials. Did anybody happen to show up? How did the event turn out?
We had a speaker from IMPD.
Excellent.
Officer Joseph Barney. He's a detective with IMPD. We had a guest speaker, Sylvia Phillips. She's a youth minister. We had Celebrity.
Buster Douglas.
Former
he
heavyweight
came.
champ.
Former
Excellent.
heavyweight
Yeah.
champ.
So there are some. So you're getting some leadership support,
Yes.
and then that's
Yes.
again that's the
Definitely.
goal of what you're trying to do with this collective effort.
And it's all about networking, you know,
Absolutely.
trying to network and be unified. Like Nature said, if we're unified, we can overcome a lot of the stigmas and the obstacles that people put in front of us. One of the things that we've been talking about here is prayer changes things. We are a living testament of how prayer changes things just in the last couple of days. As a Christian, you know that anytime you're trying to do something positive and you're trying to do it and put God first, the devil's going to come at you from every possible angle. And he's done that over the course of this weekend, but we have persevered because we keep him first. We're not going to allow him to interfere with
Yes,
what we're
sir.
doing here.
Yes,
so,
sir.
and just like Disciple said, as far as you know, using the old school music, I have a tendency to snatch some old school and incorporate it into what I do with my music.
To make it relevant.
And he
So
does
I'll
it
take
well.
Wade in the water
Yeah,
and
he
I'll throw it
did.
in a hook.
Okay. All right.
Or some other because then that relates to the older, you know, generations.
Right. Can
But-
kind of bridge the gap and meet
Right,
both.
but the comedy made it's important that we reach the youth because, like that old Bill Withers song, "The children are our future." You know,
Yes.
if we can't reach them and keep them steered in the right direction, you know, we don't really have too much of a future. So,
Absolutely.
you know.
And hate to interject here, I want to make sure we get your information up on the screen as we go. Your CD dropped last night. Where, real quickly, can our viewers get a copy of this?
It will be on cdbaby.com. We also have a distributor locally where we're
Okay.
actually giving them out in
they
different
have a website?
venues. We do have Facebook,
Okay.
Nature 1077. We have YouTube. We have Twitter.
Excellent.
We're all connected on the same page. So if you get in contact with one of us, we could get you in contact with who you
Excellent. You
Yeah,
find one, you
your
found them all.
title is-
Well, thanks for being our guest today on Religion in the News,
Thank
and
you.
we'll make sure we'll keep you guys lifted up in your
Absolutely.
ministry.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much for
thank
having
you.
us.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us on Religion in the News. You can share your upcoming event on our calendar by sending it to us at least 2 weeks in advance to the Wish TV address on the screen, or email your event and prayer request to us at religion@wishtv.com. You can also check us out on Facebook under Religion in the News. Check out our guests' information and calendar events this week by visiting wishtv.com. Click on Community and then on Religion in the News. Also visit the Church Federation of Greater Indianapolis' website at indyfaith.org. Here's our calendar. Have a great week.